guys, Dr. Eric Smith, and today I'm in Evanston. Evanston's a little north of Chicago, and I want to introduce you to Dr. Sean Curry. So Dr. Curry and I used to work together at a practice in River North, and now I'm very happy to be at his practice. He owns his own, just recently opened up, and he works on a few different types of patients. You do a lot with like pediatrics and a few other things. So I'm going to let him talk a little bit about his practice, who he likes to see, and about his whole culture of the practice. We practice in similar in certain ways and a little bit different. So this is Dr. Curry.
Hi. So my biggest focus here with the name and how I try to treat everybody here, I've always wanted people to feel like they're walking into their own home and feeling comfortable. So I'm very family focused. And with regards to the patients I like to treat, focus a lot on pregnancy, pre and postnatal, pediatrics. I always joke around, people say, how old can your patient be? And I say from 3 hours old to 3 hours in the grave, if you can be a patient of mine. I want to treat everybody I possibly can, help as many people as I possibly can so that they can do what they want to do for not only their lives, but I found that when you're treating moms and dads and even kids, it affects the entire family. And so I like to keep families healthy and moving and doing as much optimal work as they possibly can.
Yeah. Some of the bigger things I learned with working with him is treating pediatrics, and he's kind of the guy to go to. And when I have younger kids, since I don't see them that much, I like to send them up to him and have him work with that. But I really like the fact that he starts very young. So if you think of your neurological system when you're born, if it was like a bank account, you started putting pennies in it when they said you start investing in your savings account younger, then it pays off larger dividends. So he's taking care of these kids at a very, very young age. He actually has a whole area set up for pediatrics as well as anybody, older. So he's worked on a wide variety of people. He used to work on me. So I wanted to show you today how he does adjustments, and particularly like me. So I'm going to have him do his further assessment than what we already talked about, show you an adjustment, and then we're going to swap today. So cool.
Yep.
You ready to go?
Yeah. Have you lying in your stomach? What's been bothering you recently?
With me, I just haven't been adjusted in a while. So kind of just upper back, that cervical thoracic junction. Okay. You've seen some other chiropractors adjust me. My thoracolumbar junction, and then not too much. I mean, my hips feel okay, just a little pressure on the lowest part.
Okay. What was your last show?
Last time I competed was about this time last year.
Okay.
So now it doesn't look like it's going to happen this year.
Yeah.
Just due to
Yeah,
all the things in
socially
the world.
distance to be judged.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll get started on your stomach, so maybe lie face down. Okay. So when I do very quick, I've seen that Dr. Smith does leg length checks because we're focused on the same thing with hips. I look to kind of see how patients lay down on the table. I'll check their feet. Usually it's a really quick check. See his right leg is long. You can see that also translates here into the pelvis. And a lot of moms that are coming in or women that are pregnant, they'll lay down on the table and you can see that the hips are rotated, and that's because of the way that babies are laying inside the uterus. Sometimes the way the patient just lays down, so I double check again, and it goes really quickly, went back to rotating that way. So I use flexion distraction technique, kind of similar to what Dr. Smith has had in a lot of his other videos, and this allows me to feel where segments are stuck. And they're not necessarily moving as well as they can. Also, kind of when you go into flexion extension, you can feel which one of these, what we call the ASISs, or where these little bumps that are here on the back. You can see which one's moving, which one's not, which one's more prominent or higher. It lets me know where I need to hit his back to adjust those hips. It seems that all chiropractors tend to have these same areas, thoracolumbar right here, and the CT junction or cervical thoracic, because we're always hunched over and looking down at patients all day, or we're looking down at notes as we're trying to make things finish at the end of the day, and so we're doing a lot of stuff over. I think in one of your other videos we talked about all the pushing activity that we do.
Yeah.
So a lot of flexed in. One of the things I've noticed recently with everybody now shifting to working from home, there's a lot of people that have tried to set up offices at their houses and they're not set up the right way. And so I've been seeing a lot more patients having like pec tightness, middle back issues, because we're all rotating in. I get that a lot with new moms that are coming in. So as they're breastfeeding and nursing their babies, they're looking down, they're hunching over. We get a lot of problems up through here. When's the last time you got adjusted?
It's probably been 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
Way too long.
I got you beat.
Oh no. How long has it been for you?
When was the last time I worked at my last practice? No, that's not true. I had another doctor that's here in town that came in. He and I connected because he does neurological reflexes And so it's kind of what Dr. Smith was talking about with kids. You want to start teaching them how to improve their posture when they're younger. They remember it much later on into life. And he goes back and teaches adults how to redo their reflexes, like crawl to walk or tummy time to crawl. We did that way too fast as kids, like our parents encourage us to walk too fast. A lot of the neurologic or deep neurological functions don't allow for the flexors and extensors to work along the spine and create a lot of issues. So you can do adjustments like this, but if you have that deep kind of limbic system neurological dysfunction, it just goes right back to where it is. And he tries to help people retrain their nervous system to function the right way. All right, so and up here, CT junction. Oh, yeah. One of the things I like to do, and the reason why I do pediatrics is because I'm just a big kid and I like to celebrate good adjustments like anybody else. So I might giggle and laugh and scream louder than you.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, that was awesome.
Big breath in for me. All the way out. You can on your back. All right, I'm going to have you turn on your left side. You can face the wall over here. Other side. All the way up. Nice. There we go. Line up.
One of the things I really like about his technique is he's got a lot of muscle, and you see that, but it's very specific type adjustments that a lot of times you'll see certain videos where people are just powering through it, and he does have a lot of power, but he has a skill that he's gotten over the years with a lot of finesse. So he's working specifically in joints that he's feeling are fixated, as well as the whole system that he was assessing when he had me laying face down. So look for that in a good chiropractor, and you see that in him.
Somebody always asks me this. I notice this in your videos too, like when you're adjusting the neck, you look off someplace else. The patient's like, are you not paying attention to what you're doing? I'm like, my hands are seeing everything right now. So you're feeling it right there. Bring your chin up. There we go. Make you taller.
There it was.
Yeah. Can you do me a favor? Can you reach up and grab the bars that are top of the head? Good. Relax your leg here. Good. Awesome. Good gap in.
I have not had the ankle adjust in years. Thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, you got me before you did the chin tuck before I even asked you to do it. This is one thing about adjusting other chiropractors, they kind of know your cadence.
I think you taught me that.
Yep. Yeah, especially for this TL junction. You get these big, wide lat, muscular guys, and you're like, oh, I'm not going to be able to get through all this tasty meat to get it adjusted.
Oh, perfect. There. Whew. Awesome.
Was it you said the other day you needed a curry adjustment?
I needed a curry adjustment, yeah. So, yeah, that's what you should come into. If you call his office, make sure you say you need the curry adjustment. So, it's a different adjustment that he's going to have, and I hope that he does some pediatric videos here soon, but I can definitely tell you, if you're restricted in certain areas, this man's going to be able to find it and get you better. So, as he said, he needs an adjustment, so time for me to work on him. So I'm going to have you lay face down. He has a little bit more of a sophisticated table that I'm used to using, so I'm just going to move through and kind of do my assessment to see what's going on. It's, let's see, when's the last time I adjusted you? Like 7 years ago?
2013, 2014?
Yeah, something right around then. A little tight, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Dr. Curry's a family man. And as you find other interests, you brew, and then you're a part owner or a partner in a brewery, right?
Partner, yeah.
Partner. So in the Evans scenario, you may see him have his hands in a few things, no pun intended, but it's a great thing to talk to him about. And there's a lot of great interest that he has in nutrition. He's a type 1 diabetic, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were diagnosed how old?
19.
19. So
It was about 6 months after a tetanus shot.
6 months after a tetanus shot.
Yeah.
So if you're a type 1 diabetic wondering about certain things, nutrition, health-wise, the man's living it. So he understands those things. So there's a lot more things outside of just what you may think in terms of getting adjusted that he can really help you with. So super tight through his low back. Gosh, we're going to do some work through here. Especially through here. Nice deep breath. Good. All the way out. Maybe drop your arms to the side. You know, I was never one to do that adjustment, so I started working with this guy. Go ahead and lay on your right side. Still haven't mastered it. Kind of feel like the young student, the young grasshopper after I just got the masters.
The Padawan?
The Padawan. Let's just relax. Go the other side.
You got much better. I remember when we first started, you're like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle you on the table because my size is...
Yeah, we're actually going to let this length drop. So this just goes to show that chiropractors need care too. With us doing all the thrusts and working on people's body, we also take that force back. So eating well, thinking well, moving well, and a lot of times we just need other people to get in there and adjust us. Oh yeah, I remember this neck now.
Whoa.
One right here. Time to get at it. Let's get in there. Just chin tuck for me. Then I want to get your TL junctions. What I'm going to have you do, sit up toward me. Let me have the whole thing.
Got us just rolling right over. That's awesome.
So when did you open your practice?
Opened up the week before St. Patrick's Day this year.
Okay, awesome. So what's the name of your practice again?
Evanston Family Chiropractic and Wellness.
So check it out. He's on Facebook. He's online. He's in northern part of Chicago. Treats a lot of people, a lot of pediatrics. So we look forward to seeing some videos soon. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to point them at our website or take a look at his. And I'll definitely make sure that if you do give us some questions that are for him, I'll put you in contact with them. Just comment below, leave your email, or hit us up on the website. So looking forward to it, and we'll see you next video, okay?